How was y'all's week? Man, God is so good. I just had to stop and talk about it because right here is where it gets really, really, really good. Right here. In this place that we're in right now. There's so much going on. If we can stay focused, if we can stay grounded, have empathy, have a heart for people, if we can still have empathy and have a heart for people, stay grounded, stay focused with everything that's going on, this is where it gets really, really good because it's tough right now. It is extremely tough right now. There's a lot of stuff happening out here right now, and it can take you down a rabbit hole of pain and being triggered and, all of that stuff. If we can stay grounded and stay focused and still have a heart for people in this season, this is where it's going to get really, really, really good. What else could possibly come out of everything that's going on? What could possibly come out of all of this that's going on other than something really, really good? Because for everything, there's an opposite. So if that holds true, for what's going on right now, the total opposite of that is something really, 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 really good. Think about it. If that theory holds true, that for everything there's an opposite, if what we are going through right now, what we are seeing right now, on the other side of that is something really, really, really good. On the other side of this is something amazing. But we got to stay grounded, we've got to stay focused, and we've got to continue to have a heart for people. The stuff that's going on right now is really polarizing. It's really triggering. It's really polarizing. I get healthy discourse. I get that. I get healthy discourse. But at the same time, when we communicate with our emotions, when we're communicating with our emotions, that's not healthy discourse. It's emotional discourse. And so we got to give ourselves a beat before we weigh in on stuff, It's just a lot going on, right? So with that being said, if we can stay grounded and stay focused and still have a heart for people, and have empathy for those who are, and I'll just leave it right there. You can fill in the blanks because anyway, we don't want to regurgitate the things that are going on right now. But what we do want to do is pray for better. You know what I mean? Navigate our way to better. Advise better. Love better. Figure ourselves out better. There's just a lot of things that could be said right now that is not necessarily, because everything that's lawful is not expedient. So again, you have to give yourself a beat before you start weighing in on things. But what I do believe is that God is going to show up in all of it. Well, he is showing up in all of it. And so on the other side of all of the stuff that's going on out here, something really, 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 really good. I mean, it has to. It has to. It has to. Everything out here is pointing towards give up, or we should give up, or we should not believe, or we should not have any hope. Everywhere you look, something is going on that is pointing towards or wants us to look towards not having any hope. So how do we counteract that? How do we counteract that? We counteract that by basically, we gotta have hope. Like, we literally have to. In this season, we have to. And so who knows what that collective effort will do if we all counteract everything that's going on with having even more hope, even though everything that's going on is pointing towards not having any. That's quite a stretch, right? That's quite a stretch, but at the same time, we can't give up on us. We can't give up on humanity. We can't give up on the fact that we can live a beautiful life. We can have this beautiful dream life. There are some things that have to stop. There are some things that have to discontinue. And just to shift gears a little bit and make it a little lighter, that's why this season that we're in right now, this fall season, it's fall season, it's football season, it's reset season, it's almost couch potato season, but then it's still get out and tailgate and, do all the things season, right? I think we can use this time to reset and become what we need to become so that we can heal a lot of different things. We can actually use the lifestyle that we have, the lifestyle that we live. We can use that lifestyle that we live. Nobody's telling you to just, well, for some people it might be different, but we can actually live a lifestyle that is healing. How we look at things, how we weigh in on things, how we interact with other people, how we love people, how we love ourselves. How we love ourselves is a big indicator in how we're going to show up. But I firmly believe that we can do it. I firmly believe that we can do it. I firmly believe that even with every single thing that's going on right now, there's something that is still about to be really good. And we've got to think that way. We've got to think that way despite what everything looks like. I mean, we just do. We just do. So, enough about that. It's Friday. I know y'all would rather hear something a little bit more upbeat and, all of that. But at the same time, we've got to be real. We've got to be real about, we can't wear this mask of toxic positivity, but we do want to remain positive. We do. We just want to remain hopeful, regardless of what's going on and what's happening. So anyway, again, it's Friday, and, even this, we use the weekends to reflect. We use the weekends to reflect, to reset, for all of that. And I think if we, start maybe taking that time, digging a little deeper, looking at ourselves a little deeper, it'll prevent a lot of things. It's not going to cure everything, but it will heal a lot, you know. So I think that as the world changes, we change. As the world changes, we change, and we have a choice as we change. Are we changing for the better? Or are we just going along to get along, or what have you? But as the world changes, we change. But we have to make a choice on, are we changing in a good way? Are we leveling up? Are we changing well? Are we changing well? Or is it a change in the opposite direction? Are we positively, exponentially leveling up? Are we reading more? Are we drinking more water? Are we taking more walks? Are we exercising? Are we changing our diets? Are we looking at how we assess things and how we communicate with people? Are we looking at how we keep our commitments? Are we doing just a full scan of everything? Are we changing well? As the world changes, so do we. But are we changing well? That's something that we got to ask ourselves, because even if we're not out here doing some of all of the things that we see, right? And that we hear about. And even if we're not necessarily personally affected by it, us ignoring positive change and exponential growth is not a good way to show up either. No, you can't compare the two. You can't compare the two, but everything is connected to everything, So we just got to do better, period. We just got to do better. And I believe we know that now. We know that now, and we're doing it. We're doing it. And that's where that good is going to come in. That's where that good is going to show up. That good is going to show up in the midst of that entire paradigm shift that is happening. That's where it's going to show up. In the midst of you still having hope, when it looks like you shouldn't have, that's when that good is going to show up. When you keep showing up, even when other people don't show up for you, that's when that good is going to show up. Health challenges, job loss, relocation, all of the things. You can stay grounded and happy and hopeful. And nobody's saying it's easy. Nobody is saying it's easy, because it's not. It's not. But we can be honest about feeling it and still get through it and get past it and become the best we have ever been. I mean, ever in life. Because that's what we're on. At this age and at this stage, that's what we are on. We are on leveling up our lives to the point where I can't even describe it. I can't even describe it, because when you put in the work, and things weren't always perfect, but you've persevered. You've persevered. You've gone through some things. You've gotten through them. And now you see the light. You've learned the lessons that you needed to learn. And now you see the light. You know what it means to show up your true, authentic self. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And you know, that's a big one. That is a big one. When we learn how to show up our true, authentic selves, that's a big one. Because let's face it, a lot of times we worry about, is somebody going to accept who we really are? You know, am I going to find my tribe? Are there going to be people who will rock with me as I am? And as I am, like they have at church, come as you are. You might be quirky, you might be corny, you might be a little stuffy, you might be, you know, a little wacky, you might be a little eccentric, whatever it is. Showing up as your true authentic self. I'm sorry, y'all. I've been talking all day. We had an event today. Showing up as your true authentic self is so important on whether or not those people are going to be there. That's a whole nother video for a whole nother time. But I believe that we're in a place right now. And even though it looks really, really, really messed up out here right now, right? I really believe we're in a pivotal place where change can actually happen and is going to. And we're going to do it. As cliche as that sounds, I believe that we are digging deep and we are looking at ourselves in this moment. It's a whole lot going on, but I believe in this moment, there are people who we are legitimately looking at ourselves and saying, it's not a whole lot I can do about that, but what can I do about me? Think about it. Think about it. There are some things that have happened in recent days that there isn't much that as an individual you may be able to do or help. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that there isn't still work to be done. You know? We can work on ourselves to get where we're supposed to be, you know? And maybe as we are along that journey, then some of the ways we can help in other ways, they start to connect and they start to intersect, right? I don't think we just sit down and do nothing. Sitting down and doing nothing is where the problem continues to multiply. And you start to see more and more and more of things happening. And I'm going to leave that there, and get back on where this time for us, we can turn this time. There's still time to make this a beautiful place. There's time still to make this a beautiful place. And so when we dig deep and reflect and do the work that we need to do and collectively do the work, you know, again, collectively doing the work, that's when we begin to see real change. We want to rely on things. We want to rely on other things other than. Anyway, I'll leave that there too, but you get it, right? You get it. So, but I believe things can still be really, 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 really good. And I believe that this is where it happens. As odd as that may sound, because things look really, really jacked up right now. They look really messed up right now. And I get that. But for some odd reason, I believe that right here, right now, this is where things can still turn out to be amazing. Again, I don't know why I feel that way, but I do. So let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. Do y'all think that, I don't know, just let me know in the comments what you think. I'm not going to try to influence what you say in the comments. Yeah, just, anyway. All right, guys. Y'all have an amazing Friday. Have an amazing, safe weekend. All right. And if you have some time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to just work on yourself, you know, take the time and do that. Collectively, if we all do that, we'll get somewhere and we'll get there together. All right. All right. Talk to y'all later. Have a good weekend. Don't forget to subscribe. I didn't even say that, but you know, I meant it. Don't forget to subscribe. All right. Bye.